Hello everyone, this is Dino from Prehistoric Facts. This is Prehistoric Facts special episode number 161. We're going to be talking about a prehistoric mammal today, and that prehistoric mammal is Megalonyx, or one of the giant ground sloths. And so this is an artist rendition of the most common of the Megalonyx, which is Megalonyx jeffersoni. And this is the one we're actually going to be doing more in this kind of episode. So there's some information about Megalonyx. Megalonyx means giant claw. Its length is 9.8 feet, which is 3 meters. Height on all four limbs, is 3.5 feet or 1 meter. And when it's on 2 legs, it's 7 feet tall, which is approximately 2 meters. And its weight can be 2,200 pounds. It lives 2.4 million years, all the way to 11,000 years ago in the Pleistocene epoch. And the fossils are found mostly in North America and was described by Harlan in 1825. So on the upper left corner right here, you can see the map of North America. There's a lot of Megalonyx fossils that are from the west coast of the United States all the way towards the east coast. So Megalonyx is a very common ground sloth in North America, and it's mostly found in North America. And here's a size chart, and you can kind of see here of the ground sloth size chart right here of Megalonyx. And so yeah, you can kind of see how it's actually a pretty large sloth. And here's the skeleton of Megalonyx right over here. And so let's actually keep on going, shall we? So more information about Megalonyx. It actually belongs to the giant sloth group called Megalonychidae, and so it's all the sloths that are actually related to itself, and so it's actually got that type of family group of ground sloths. And so, believe it or not, this type of ground sloth was actually described by the 3rd president of the United States, Thomas Jefferson, but this is when he was vice president of the United States, serving for the 2nd president of the United States, John Adams. And so he described the fossils in 1797. And so he actually went to the kind of like a science institution in Philadelphia, and he actually described these fossils. He did not discover them, though. There was a type of colonel that actually discovered the fossils, last name Stewart. And so he described it and was thought to be from a large lion because of the claws. And so what were found was bits of bones of like the finger bones and also some claws. And so, but unfortunately for Thomas Jefferson, it was a mistaken identity by him. And so, but the thing is, he didn't really know what it was. I mean, all he knew was actually looking at its claws. And so Harlan in the 1820s described this fossil as a type of giant ground sloth because there's been more fossils that have been found in the east coast of the United States that are actually based on those types of stuff. And so, I mean, think about it. Thomas Jefferson didn't really know anything about sloths. He didn't know anything about extinction either at that point in time in the 1790s. So he was not particularly the greatest describer when it comes to some of the sciences, but Thomas Jefferson does have 2 articles in paleontology which you can find online, which is actually very easy to find. And so yeah, and yeah, you can find that journal article where he actually described the fossils that he described. But anyway, Megalonyx's features in terms of ground sloths, it does have large claws on its hands, so it's claws for digging, grabbing hold of branches to pull them down towards its mouth. And of course, it's a herbivore. It's a plant-eating animal, and like all sloths, they are plant eaters. So here's a picture of the artist rendition of the Thomas Jefferson types of fossils right here. And so what you got here is just basically some finger bones and the claws. So this is just one hand that was actually found of Megalonyx. The environment Megalonyx lived in, it was pretty much cold and dry. The glaciers were in the northern part of North America, and they can be as far south. In the beginning of the Ice Age, it was as far south as Kansas, and so that's pretty far. But at the end of the Ice Age, it was actually all the way south as Wisconsin, and so my home state, Wisconsin. So yeah, and then there was a lot of deciduous forests. Of course, there was a bunch of trees, like say maples, your firs, all sorts, and pines, and evergreen trees, all sorts of things. You have grasslands as well. There was grasslands everywhere in the Ice Age. You also had rivers, lakes, and ponds, which are pretty common around there. And other animals were around there too, like insects, amphibians, reptiles, birds, and of course mammals. And the mammals were the largest animals in North America at that point in time in the Ice Age. Now, the giant ground sloth Megalonyx does actually have some predators. First and foremost, the saber-toothed cats, aka Smilodon. And so Smilodon would actually be a formidable predator to Megalonyx, but Smilodon would not go after giant ground sloths very much. It would actually stick to bison, horses, and camels mostly. It can also go out and also tackle the baby mastodons and mammoths. The American lion is also a predator to the ground sloth, like the saber-toothed cat. It would actually just be going after the types of prey that would actually be going after, like bison, baby mammoths, baby mastodons, horses, camels, those sorts of things. But the main predator of the giant ground sloth would actually be the giant short-faced bear. And so the giant short-faced bear, it would actually be a little bit bigger than Megalonyx. And so Megalonyx would actually have a hard time going up against the giant short-faced bear. But thing is that would have been a very cool fight to see. Giant short-faced bear versus Megalonyx. That would have been an awesome, awesome battle. The extinction of Megalonyx is mostly due to climate change. Climate change is mostly going to be the reason why it went extinct. But there's possibility that human hunting was actually involved in the extinction of the giant ground sloth. And I think early humans at that point, early Homo sapiens, probably did not go after the adult ground sloths very much. They probably actually went after the ones that were already dead, or otherwise they actually just tried to go after the young ones. Also, habitat disappeared. That's also the reason for climate change. The habitat disappeared. Plants changing. That's another reason why giant ground sloths went extinct. And of course, a warming climate. And so, when there's a warming climate, the cool climate is actually going to not be around for very long in the time of the giant ground sloth Megalonyx. And so, yeah. So this is a map of the Earth around 18,000 years ago in the Pleistocene. So this was actually during the Wisconsinian Ice Age. So this is where you see here as far south as Wisconsin for North America. And so giant ground sloth Megalonyx would actually be living in North America around this particular kind of time right here. So the next episode would actually be on November 20th, 2020, and there'll be a Q&A episode. So if you got any questions about dinosaurs or any other prehistoric life, feel free to email me at dinochrist71@gmail.com, or just go to my Facebook page, Prehistoric Facts with Dino Chris. Like the page, you actually post your questions in the comments section. Please do not use Messenger. That's only for private conversations. So just be sure to put your questions in the comment section. And you can also, for YouTubers out there, feel free to like the video, subscribe, and stomp on that notification bell so that way you can get some updates on every single video that comes out. And also, feel free to put your questions in the comment section and you get a shout out. And who would not want to get a shout out by me, so that way you can actually know that your question has been read. And also make sure your questions are short and to the point. And you can follow me on Instagram at dino.chris.pf. You can follow me on Instagram. I post pretty cool stuff on there. Also follow me on Twitter at CSGRALL. It's my Twitter page. I post pretty cool stuff on there as well. Also, take care of people around you. Also, for your younger people out there, to make sure to listen to your parents, teachers, and your guardians. It's the best motivation you can have a good education. It's very important to have a good education. With a good education, you get a good job in the future. Make sure you're wearing a mask, social distance, and wash your hands in this kind of time, because we want to reduce the spread of this virus. And also, feel free to check out Colossal Fossils. I'll put the link in the description down below, and I'll put a paper on Megalonyx in the description down below. That's it for now, and I'll see you guys next time.